Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Oh my gosh. I think I look as rough as I feel today. I feel, well, I don't feel bad. I don't feel sick or anything like that. I just feel rough today. Like, it's interesting as I get older, you know, being 29 and a half years sober, that some days I wake up and this is going to sound crazy. If you're older, you'll probably know what I mean. Some days you just wake up and you just kind of feel hungover. I mean, I haven't had a drink in 29 and a half years. And, what's my new saying that I've been saying? I was telling Tanya this last night. Lord willing and the creek don't rise, or whatever this saying is. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I will, throughout this vlog today, I will start feeling better so that I can be up to par for the football game today. Yeah, but I'm like struggling today. I got good sleep last night. I did not take my medicine last night. I fell asleep very quickly last night, quicker than usual. And so, yeah, I've just been kind of like laying in bed and stuff, and then finally I was like, okay, if you're gonna vlog, you've got to get up so that you can like get this vlog done. I was just like laying there in bed, and well, I got up and I did my prayers and meditations and stuff like that, and then Alex has been doing laundry today, so I like came back to bed and I was kind of like laying on the side, and I was like rolling through my phone and reading my text messages. My neighbor next door told me that she thinks I should run for the board. I was like, no. So I was like rolling through my phone and stuff like that. And I was like, I hadn't had any coffee yet today, and so I was like, you need to go downstairs, make yourself a cup of coffee, and you need to start vlogging if you're going to vlog today. So this is my only video that I'm filming today. My plan was that I was going to get up at like, well, I mean, it wasn't really my plan, but I was like, if you get up at like 11 or 12, then you can film some other videos. But I'll be honest with you, I just didn't feel that pressed to film a bunch of other videos today. I was like, if you film on your vlog Saturday and Sunday and that's all you get done, then that's good enough, you know? Yesterday I ended up filming 4 videos. So yeah. I think I'm kind of out of sorts, if you want to know the truth, too. Because I finished that show Dark last night. So, let's talk about last night. Okay, Alex, I'm like thinking back on what Alex was doing. So, Alex was watching TikToks. I thought he had finished Love Island last night. I thought he had already finished it, watching it through for the second time. But when I went inside and I was uploading my vlog, I was like, are you watching TikToks? Are you done with Love Island already? He was like, no. And I said, how many more episodes do you have? And he said, I have 14 more episodes to watch. I don't know how many of them he got done last night, but I think that's my neighbor out there. I can hear her laughing. But continuously from like when I was got done vlogging until like I think 2 o'clock in the morning, he was watching Love Island. So I don't know if he finished it last night, but he's like obsessed with the show. I haven't seen him like this over a TV show in a long time. It's so funny. So anyway, it's partly also because like all of his girlfriends watch this show, and all of his work friends, so like everybody that he works with, they like talk about this show every day and stuff like that. So so I think that's part of it. But anyway, so I did my vlog, and then I walked, and then she got back pretty early actually, but we decided that we weren't going to go swimming last night. And so I took a shower and stuff, and then I tried to like lay down, and I just could not sleep to save my life last night on a nap. I've been having a hard time like taking naps. So anyway, I laid down there with Alex. He was watching Love Island, but he had his AirPods in. I was laying down there with Alex and Boo Radley. Boo Radley is being so sweet. He's doing this thing. I talked about this yesterday in my vlog, but he's doing this thing where he goes back and forth. He goes back and forth from, like, I have the 2 beds. Well, so this was I didn't say this yesterday, I don't think, on the vlog, but the original idea for bringing the bed up, the dog bed that I bought, the second one, upstairs from downstairs, was partly because he doesn't use it downstairs. That was like part of the reason. But the second reason was I thought like if he laid in it in the bed, because when I first put it down in the bed, he like laid in it and he was like, he knew it was for him. And so it was like, well, if he lays in it a little bit upstairs, then maybe he'll like get used to it and he'll like smell himself on it, you know. And so then if we put it back downstairs, like he'll want to lay in it because he'll know that's like my bed from, does that make sense? So, that was kind of my initial reasoning. The funny thing is, he kind of goes back and forth between both beds. Like, when I came down here, well, he got up as soon as I started washing my face and brushing my teeth and stuff like that, but he was laying in the newer one. The newer one's like shallower. It kind of just goes like that. The purple one is like deeper, and so he like hangs out and he puts his head over it and stuff like that, but it's so cute. So anyway, I tried to take a nap last night, and I just could not fall asleep. I lay there for like an hour and just was not able to sleep whatsoever. So, I got up. I'm trying to think about when I talked to Tanya. Tanya got back yesterday from her trip. She got back yesterday. She said she got back yesterday afternoon. She'd gone to the kennel, and she was checking on the kennel and stuff like that. And so we talked for a long time. We talked for like almost like 2 hours. It must have been after I got up from my nap. I don't even remember when it was, honestly. Well, when I got up from my nap that I tried to take but didn't take a nap. So then, I watched The Bachelorette last night. I got caught up in The Bachelorette last night. A couple people had mentioned this on some of my videos. They were like, because they just announced this week who the new Bachelor is going to be. And people were like, what do you think about them announcing that the new Bachelor is so-and-so? And I was like, I didn't know who they were talking about. In fact, somebody put it on there, and I said, is that from Charity's season? Because I didn't know who this guy was. I don't want to say it unless you're not caught up on The Bachelor yet, but I was like, I don't know who this person is. And so a couple people commented then, and then they were like, oh, he gets kicked off this week, so you obviously haven't watched it yet. And I was like, no, I haven't watched it yet. And so we've had a different male guy here every single day. I wonder what's going on. So I watched Bachelorette last night. He's a real nice guy. I think he's an interesting pick for The Bachelor. I read this interview about him, though. Like, I don't know. I think he'll do great as a Bachelor. He didn't really get an opportunity on The Bachelorette, which is, what's interesting about it is, so it's somebody that Jen just, like, she had to, like, narrow it down, so she had to eliminate 2 people this week. Well, she really eliminated 3 people, but 2 people she had to eliminate this week, and he was one of them. And then they turned around, like, right afterwards and announced that he's the new Bachelor. What's interesting about it is that if you watch the previous episode, if you're watching The Bachelor, it was when she has kind of, like, this breakdown moment of, like, talking about where she feels safe and where she doesn't feel safe and stuff like that. Not, like in places, but, like, in the world, right? And sharing vulnerably with people, and she says to him, you always make me feel safe. I think it's so interesting that she said that to him, and then he's so, I mean, she narrowed it down to, like, so next week is hometown, so it's 4 people that are going to hometown, so she had to eliminate 2 people, and then another person kind of left in a random way. I'm trying not to say it to ruin it for anybody that doesn't know who got eliminated, like me, and I had no idea who this person was as the next Bachelor, and then I was like, oh, he's so nice, he's on The Bachelor. So anyway, so that's going to be the next season of that. Well, then I'm watching The Bachelorette, and it's down to, like, hometowns next week. And I'll be honest with you, everybody that is going to hometowns, I really, really like. Like, there's not one guy that, I like them all for different reasons. I'll be honest with you, like, Devin, I have liked from the beginning. I don't know why. I think because he wasn't really willing to take a lot of shit from the other guys and stuff like that. Jeremy kind of grew on me over time. I think he's a really, really nice guy. I actually think that I'm like this is my, like, I watched Golden Bachelor, and then I watched the this kid is running down the street with a football helmet on after his grandparents, and I'm like, is that a sign that it's, like, time for me to get ready for this football game? No, I've got a half an hour left. And it's supposed to rain this afternoon, too. I'm like, if we go to this football game and it rains outside, what do you do? I mean, you just stay, don't you? This is why people all the time are like, you and Alex would make such good dads. No, we wouldn't. Because I'd be like outside, like, is it supposed to rain? We should probably just not do your football game today. This is why I would not be a good parent. All of my friends that have kids, like, seriously, I mean, like, it's insanity to me. Like, I was talking to one of my friends last night. But she's a really, really good friend of mine. Like, you know, I have a couple of sober friends and that people that I don't ever, like, mention on video. And, like, back in the day, I would say a sober friend. But anyway, someone's, like, really good friend of mine for, like, years and years and years. And, she's got, like, 4 kids and their ages, like, range. Like, she's got, like, 1 in high school, 1 in middle school, 2 in elementary school. And, like, they always have so much stuff to do. And I was like, last night I was talking to her. That was who I was talking to first. And I said, well, do you guys have fun plans this weekend? And she was like, yeah. She was like, we have fun plans. She was like, making cookies and cutting orange slices up. And I was like, what are you doing that for? And she's like, well, we've got a game at 6 a.m. And then if he wins the game, then he'll play again at 9 a.m. But then my daughter has this dance thing. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah. She's like, we'll probably get home about 4 or 5 and then we'll be so tired. We'll just have like an early dinner. And she's like, we usually, you know, just do like pizza or carry out or something like that on Saturday nights. And then we just kind of like all relax and then we're in bed by like 8. I was like, that sounds miserable. I said that to her. And she just like started laughing. She's like, I love it. She's like, you know, she's like, to be sober and be able to have this life. And I think that that's one way to look at it too, you know, like, she's like, this is what I always wanted. She was like, you know, and I get that. Like, Carlos and Liliana love it. They eat it up. Like, you know, Carlos, like, coaches for all the teams, and Liliana's, like, in charge of all the moms. They love it. They love it. They love it so much, you know? I just, like, that wouldn't even be me. And even if it wasn't sports, like, let's just say if it was, like, theater or art classes or whatever, you know? I wouldn't want to, like, I don't know. I knew that, like, when Alex and I were, like, talking about it. I think at first I kind of was like, you know, like, what I'm, like, the whole idea of maybe having kids somewhere down the line, kind of, I thought, with my ex, at least. So that was kind of there. But I knew, like, I'm the kind of person that wants to, you know, go to Walmart with my good Judy at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's not conducive to having kids, you know? Or staying up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning watching TV shows. That's not conducive to being that would not be the kind of parent that I would want to be. And in all honesty, like, this is something I knew about myself, that if I was going to be a parent, I would be the one that was very involved. You know, I would want to live in a neighborhood where there was a lot of kids for, you know, my kids to play with. I would want to be going to all the games. I would want to be that parent. That would be the parent that I would want to be. And I knew that that wasn't a priority for me. So I think that parents that are really, really involved, I think that's great. I can't. Like, that couldn't be me. I mean, I really, you know, I thought through all this stuff, like, because I had met enough parents in my life that hadn't thought through this stuff, you know, and I think that parenting is one of the most underappreciated jobs in our world. I really do. You do the best you can. Like, you know, I think, like, both of my parents voiced that to me at some point or another. I can remember my mom, like, in some counselor's appointment saying to him, you know, like, if there were a book that said read pages 1 through 100 and your child will turn out perfect, she's like, what parent wouldn't read that? I know quite a few parents that actually probably wouldn't read that book. They couldn't take the time away, you know, whatever, because of this or that. Well, I knew where my priorities were, and that I was, you know, I wanted to do what I wanted to do with my life, and that was not a priority to me, you know? Because I really looked at it. I was like, if you are going to be a parent, what kind of parent will you be? And I knew I was going to be the parent that was going to be very involved in the school and live in a neighborhood where they could have a lot of friends, and that would be important to me. And, you know, traveling would be family vacations the majority of the time, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. I think also one of my fears too, like when I was with my ex, we would talk about this a lot. And he didn't really care so much, but I did, was that I feel like today, I have so many friends of mine that are gay couples that have kids. And there's still a stigma to it, you know? And that's in 2024. And I feel like it's even getting worse now. And so I didn't want a child to suffer for that. I don't know. I feel like every one of my friends that's a gay couple that is also a parent, like, they talk about, like, finding the right school, because certain schools, you know, are not as accepting as others. I mean, we're talking, it's 2024, you know? And now we're talking about school systems and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, you know, they're like, we would want them just to feel like they're normal in a school, you know? And, I don't know. But anyway, so that's what we're doing today. I'm more excited about it. I'm kind of joking about it. I really am excited about it. I'm excited to see the whole family and everything like that, and it'll be really fun. The last time that we went to one of their games was we went and saw Carlitos play baseball, and that was for Carlos's birthday last year. So, I mean, it's been like a year since we've seen one of his games. They never really give us a schedule, or we would probably go more often, honestly. So we're doing that, and then I think we're doing dinner afterwards, or we're gonna go back to Carlos and Liliana's, and we're just gonna, if the kids are like tired, because they both had like games today. So if we go back to Carlos and Liliana's, we're gonna just like get pizza or something like that. So it'll be fun. It'll just gonna have like a hangout night with the family, seeing Fufu and Jesse, which I'm really excited about, and yeah, and all that. So that's tonight, and then when we come home, I'm gonna watch some Sister Wives tonight. I've got to get, well, has anybody watched a show called Dear Child? It keeps on getting recommended to me because I watch because I watch Dark. You know, it's interesting that I said that, because when I got done with Dark last night, I felt very similarly to how I felt when I got done with, Dark. By the way, I just have to say this because she comments a lot on this vlog too. I'm kind of thinking maybe it's not like your real name, and so when I said in a video, you didn't like hear that it was said to you. But Claire, who comments on these videos, I did this like whole joking thing about Claire talking about my blanket on my bed and the duvet in my drama channel. And she commented like 4 times on that video, and like I literally did like this whole 5-minute thing, and she didn't even mention anything about it whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to think maybe your name's not really Claire, it's just like a profile name, because I said like, you know, it's like when you're in a doctor's office, it's like this is another Smoky Mountain Christmas reference. She takes the youngest girl to the doctor's office, but they use like a fake name, like Mrs. Smith, and so they're calling Mrs. Smith, and she's just looking around, and she's like, that's she, the little girl's like, that's she, and she's like, oh yeah, that is me, isn't it? But anyway, that was like a fun part of that video that I did yesterday. Whoever you are, I don't know what your name is, Claire or Tina or whatever, but anyway, Tina. Wasn't that what the animal's name was in, what's that movie, Napoleon Dynamite? Oh my god, that's a movie I haven't seen forever. I never loved that movie so much. Somebody was commenting about a song from the movie Juno the other day. That's another movie that, like, it was like a one and done for me. Like, I saw it and I was like, it was okay, but like, it was like a movie that got super, super hyped at that time, and I just was like, it was okay. I mean, I think it had an important message, but I wasn't that, like, thrown out by it. What's the other movie? Because somebody was talking about a song from that movie the other day. They commented on it. What was the song that I was singing? Oh, people keep on asking me what this song is by Karen Carpenter, and then Luther Vandross redid it. The one that says, long ago and oh so far away. I sang that in a video the other day, and somebody said, I knew those weren't the words, I had to look it up. And I looked them up, and those are literally the words. I was like, of all the times I don't get lyrics right, those are literally the words for the song. But anyway, that song, you know, it's called Superstar. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? Anyway, that's called Superstar. Well, somebody said that Sonic Youth did a remix to it. I think it was on the Juno soundtrack. And so I looked it up. It's a really, they said it was like a haunting remix. Well, you have to buy the whole album to buy the song. Like, you can't just buy the song by itself. I'm not buying the whole album. There's like 2 songs in the whole album that I liked. I listened to a lot of it to see if I wanted to buy the whole album, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, I guess I could get it on Apple Music or whatever. I do have that, or Spotify's or whatever. I just don't listen to those things, you know what I mean? But anyway, so, okay, last night I watched The Bachelorette. I feel like I watched something else too. It is so windy today. Do they cancel football games because of wind? I'm totally joking. I'm from Chicago, y'all. I mean, I know that they don't cancel football games for snow and all kinds of stuff. Who's texting me? Oh, Alex, Nikki. What did Alex text me? Fear the worst. Grotesquerie? Some new show he texted me. People are always texting me shows, which I really appreciate. Because then I can just add it to my list, add it to my list, add it to my list of shows. What was I looking up on here? I don't remember why I pulled up my phone. I don't want to rewind it. I'm like, if I look at my phone long enough, will I remember it? Oh, my shows that I watched last night. See, if you wiggle your toes, my old roommate, she back in the day, the one that lives in Berlin now, she taught me that. If you wiggle your toes, it'll set off neurons in your brain. Okay. I watched, okay, so all I have left to watch this week is Real Housewives of Orange County and Welcome to Plathville. Yeah, I watched The Bachelorette. That was all that I had to watch last night. And Dark. And I had half of episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they were long episodes. They were like an hour and 8 minutes, each one of them. Somebody told me, they commented on the vlog yesterday, and they said, Welcome to Plathville this week was a complete waste of time. So let me tell you how excited I was reading that comment going into watching Welcome to Plathville. So I haven't watched Welcome to Plathville yet. Welcome to Plathville is hard for me because, like, Tanya watches all these reality shows, and she's always kind of got them on in the background of what she's doing. I feel like they're fixing her mailbox, because I keep on hearing hammering and stuff. But Tanya will have on, like, all these reality shows, and she'll just have them on in the background of what she's doing, right? I get distracted enough, like, I even pick up my phone. So when I'm watching TV, like, I pause it if I'm gonna, like, look at my phone or something. Because I'll get distracted, and then I'm like, 10 minutes will have gone by, and I'm like, what happened? Mary got a new hairdo on Sister Wives? Like, I'm confused, right? I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I can't have it on in just the background and all this kind of stuff. So with Sister Wives, especially, I feel like I have to watch it rather closely. Because they'll say stuff, and they talk so quietly on did I say Sister Wives? I meant Plathville. On Plathville, they speak so quietly anyway, that it's kind of, like, hard to catch what they say, and, anyway. I am so ready for them to introduce Micah Plath's girlfriend. Well, I mean, I've already seen pictures of her on Instagram and stuff like that. I'm, like, 100%. I wouldn't say 100%, I'd say I'm like 99.9% sure that it was him that I was talking to at, I want to see his hair at the time that they would have filmed it, because the guy that I was talking to, his hair was a little bit longer than Micah's is in the show, but it was longer, and then he just got it cut. And so, if they say this week, like, what time of year it is, what's really weird is that he played a message or something from her, was talking to her on the phone, and her voice, I was like, that's the girl that we were talking to. I mean, we stood there and talked to them for like an hour and a half or 2 hours. It was a long time. We were waiting to get through the gate. I mean, who cares? It was Micah Plath from a reality show. I'll tell you what's weird to me about it is that on the show, he just seems like such a nice guy. He just seems like, and I even said this to the guy, I go, oh yeah, you know, he's like a really nice guy on the show. It's like a family Christian channel or whatever. He's like, oh really? And I mean, I didn't dog the show or anything, because I was like, I thought it was him, maybe, you know? I mean, not that I would anyway, you know, but I was just like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, whatever, it's this reality show about this Christian family. And I said, you really, and I didn't know at that time that he had moved to Florida. I thought he was still living in LA, so I thought, I wasn't really connecting on that too, because I was like, there's no way, like, he has to still live in LA, right? And so, but then he was like, what's the guy's name again? And one of the girls, it was like, so he was with this like tall blonde girl, who I think is his girlfriend. And then they had like a short friend with them, like this girl with like darker hair. And Alex was talking to the girls a lot. And so I said to him at one point, my legs were killing me so bad, I was like bending down and stuff like that. So when Alex started talking to them, I wasn't really standing there. And then I stood up. The reason I remember it so much, I don't know if you guys remember this, was because there was this huge argument. So this is the deal. So when you go back into VIP section, okay, like VIP is not just a section at Ultra. It's like an entire different like way, like there's different areas all over. Like if there's the main stage, and then there's like general admission, and then VIP has a whole other section too. But you have to go behind different gates and whatever. And so behind VIP, VIP has its own vendors, it has its own bathrooms, and so then it also has an area where you can go up above, and you can watch it from like the, up, you know, like the, I want to say bleachers, but that's not really what they are, I can't think. But anyway, and then you can watch it, and that's where they have like the table service, which is like, what did Chanel Ayan say when they saw Beyonce? VVIP? I mean, that's like the VVIP. That's like, I think Jason, Melissa's husband, looked into it, and it's like, I think 60 to 100 grand, like a night, depending like on what night you're at or whatever. And that's for like the smallest table. And so, so that's one place. But the way where we like to go is you can go in front of the stage, or in front of the VIP section, and then there's literally like a gate up between you and the general admission. But you have a lot of room to dance. There's a bar down there and stuff like that, and you're close to the stage. You can walk close to the stage. Well, they only allow so many people up there because of fire marshals. So you have to stand in this line, and the later that it gets, the harder it is to get into that section because they only allow so many people in. I mean, the whole time you're down there, they have fire marshals walking up and down counting how many people are there. And so, so we waited in that line. I can't remember who we were waiting for. We were waiting for like maybe David Guetta, I think, to see. And once we would get down there, you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go back out, right? So if you go down there and you're there for like 4 hours, it's like you don't want to drink a lot of like Diet Pepsis or Red Bulls because you're going to have to go to the bathroom and you're going to have to wait 2 hours to come back in. They don't just let you back in. So we knew that. Well, everybody was waiting for like whoever the final 2 people were. I can't remember who it was. It was like David Guetta and like Martin Garrix or somebody like that. We were all like waiting for the final 2 people. And so it's literally like 2 people leave, 2 people get to go. One person goes, they would go a single, and there was this guy that was standing in front of all of us. And he was like this shorter guy, and he was telling us about how, I can't remember, he was a really nice guy, but he was like telling us about, I mean, he was like 35 or 40, and he was like, yeah, I like started making all this money off of like whatever that crypto coin shit is. I don't understand anything about that. But anyway, and he was like, and I always told myself I was going to treat myself to come into Ultra, and nobody else wanted to come with me, so I came by myself. So he was like such a really nice guy, kind of nerdy, you know, and he was really nice, and he loved the music. He was telling us all about the music and how he followed it for all his years and all this kind of stuff. And we're all listening to, and we were there literally. I mean, it was probably more like 2.5 hours, honestly. And so we were sitting there forever. I looked at my picture of him the other day, and it's from the back, and you can hardly tell who it is, okay? Or I would show you guys. Here, I'll even pull up the picture right now to show you. So anyway, so we were standing there, and like people were trying to like jump ahead, and so like when they like somebody left, they were like single. We were all like him, let him go through, because he was really excited to go through. He hadn't been in the front yet. The front's like the best place to go, and so we were all rooting for him. Well, we were doing rounds of like going to the restroom, and so when when the guy that would have been Micah Plath left first to go to the bathroom, and he came back, these 2 other guys were trying to sneak around. And they were, so they were trying to sneak around. And so the girls weren't letting them sneak around. And so when they came back, and they were kind of like, and they were like using this gay card. They're like, you're not gonna, like, they were like, girl, they were like doing all this kind of stuff. And they were like, you're not gonna do that. And so like, that's when I kind of stepped in and I was like, stop being rude to these young ladies. I said, they've been standing here for a very long time. They've been standing, I mean, I knew this girl was like 5'11", 6 foot. I was like, she's a lot taller than me, okay? So I was like, she's been standing there for a long time. I knew her. And she was like, thank you so much, I really, really appreciate it. And then this guy got snappy with Alex. I'll never forget him. He had like this little like skull hat on and stuff like that. And Alex goes, you're not gonna talk to me that way. He was like, and he looked at the guy, and Alex goes, he needs to go back to the line. He goes, he just skipped about 20 people. Well, all these people behind us, because there was like, at that point, like 100 people online. All these people behind us were like, yeah. So they got like escorted off, right? So then that was when then the boyfriend came back, and people were like upset that something about, no, that was when the guys got kicked out. So then the girlfriend goes to the bathroom, and when she went to the bathroom, like people went crazy too, and we're like, no, she's been standing there up there all along. I was like, is that a picture of my cousin Caroline? I don't know who that person is. Anyway, why do I have a picture of Carol Radswell? Oh, this must be her new boyfriend. I was going to do a video about this. Carol from Real Housewives of New York. I always loved her so much. Okay, where is this? Oh, this must have been before them, because this is our friend's dinner that we went to. I could probably have my reading glasses on. Oh, here's our view from Miami. The Micah Plath infamous pictures. That's not it. That's me dancing in the rain. I'll even show you, like, the picture will be, like, laid. Oh, where'd the picture go? No, I know I have more pictures than that of Miami. Here's the picture. I mean, this is how bad the picture is, you guys. Okay? This is him right here. I thought I have another one. I think I have a video. I'll have to look through all these videos. Because see, I have these videos of me like dancing and stuff like that. And so I think the camera stopped and I'm like queuing it up. Okay, he's like right behind me in this video. So that's why I had Alex take this video. Because I'm like, if you pull it up, you can see him. That's why I have that. So I actually have the picture. Do I have another picture of him? Oh, I do. Oh, I had Alex take another picture and it's a profile of him. Right there. I was like, I know that is him. Who care anyway, right? I'll tell you who don't care. Toddy Westbrook don't care. I must have had to make a video about Toddy Westbrook while I was in Miami because I have a picture of Toddy Westbrook. Oh my God, my husband changed his profile picture of that. Look, I took that picture of him. I did such a good picture. This is a Q&A we must have done down there. Oh, I do have my reading glasses out here. Have you ever considered writing a memoir about your life? I'd love to read it. I have, yeah. Does watching the ad YouTube puts in between your videos help or not? If we skip, does it help? Does it not? I mean, you make more money if people watch your ads, but I mean, the ads are so ridiculously long. What's your favorite Cascade song? My favorite Cascade song? You know what, actually? It's an album. I love Cascade's Christmas albums. I know that sounds crazy, but I downloaded both of them last year. And I would say, what's that song called? To old acquaintance be forgot. You know, Old Lang Syne. Old Lang Syne by Cascade on the Christmas album is amazing. This is from Mare. She said, what would you tell you as a child if you could go back in time and give young Peter advice? You know, I think that answer changes for me a lot, to be honest with you. Like, I think about, I immediately go to my, like, self as a kid and, like, I was, like, looking at that clock and it said, like, I was like, is it 2:26? It's 2:53. But I was like, it's 2:26, but it was the questions from that. You know, I asked myself that question a lot about, like, if I would go back in time because of, like, being bullied and whatever. I think, well, the thing is, I don't know that it would matter if I heard it from myself. Like, I mean, if the question was, if I could go back and talk to, this stupid, treadmill. If I could go back in time and my child would really listen, like, and respect that I'm coming from, you know, like, this is the whole show of Dark. Like, this is why the show messed me up so much. I finished that show last night. I felt so weird about the world when I got done with that show. If you've watched the show, you'll know what I'm talking about. It really makes you question everything about your life, about the choices you've made. I was like, I just felt so weird at the end of that show. I don't even really know how to explain it. Sad. I mean, I will say this, like, that is one show that you really, truly do feel like you lived a lifetime with those characters. Like, I will miss those characters. I'm not really sure I know what happens to those characters or where they're at or what's going on with them. But, I mean, like, it's the most confusing show in the world. But it really makes you think about things. I took my allergy medicine and my throat is still itching. I hope it's not going to be bad today sitting outside. But if my younger self would listen, I think I would say, well, definitely live more in the present moment. You know, when you're at Christmases with your dad and your mom and your Aunt Kathy and Uncle Dave and Grandma and Caroline and stuff, like, when you're younger, like, sit in the moment and really enjoy it, you know, when you're on the sailboat with your dad, you know, really, like, enjoy those. I look back on those, like, those are moments I really, really enjoyed, you know, like, when you're at the pool swimming with your mom, like, when you guys are both sober, you're sitting around drinking coffee, like, sit in that moment. Don't always be planning, like, when am I going to leave? What do I have to do? I feel like I've done that so much in my life, and that's, like, one of the things I'm really, really trying hard to fight off, is not being like, well, I got to do this and I got to do that. I mean, like, today, like, I got to get ready for this. I got to fit this in here, fit this in there, and that I'm missing what I'm doing because I'm looking at the next thing, you know? I think that past all of that, I mean, the bullying, I think, to be honest with you, I probably would tell myself to stand up for myself a little bit more, but in all honesty, I don't know that it would have really mattered. I think that part of going through it is what made me who I am today. I think it's part of what gave me my sensitivity. I think it's part of what gave me my empathy for other people. I think it's part of... I think it made me human to some degree, because it made me sad, it made me angry, it made me fearful. But then I worked through it and I got through it, right? On the other side. So I don't know that I would exchange that experience. I don't know that I would take that experience back and tell myself to, like, beat their asses. I don't know that I would even change it, you know? I mean, I was thinking about this last night, like, the chances are pretty high that I'm going to run into this guy, you know, that I unfriended off Facebook. Well, now it's been, like, 15 people, you know? But, all from, like, high school or whatever, but, like, if I ran into him or whatever, and he's like, hey, Peter, it's so good to see you. Like, I don't really know what I would say. Tommy and I were talking about this last night. Like, I'm at this point in my life where I just can't bullshit anymore. I really can't. Like, I can't, like, be like, I unfriended you over something so serious and, you know, and not say anything about it. I mean, like, if I ran into him in a public place and he was like, hey, Peter, how are you? You know, I've always been like, well, I can be civil. I don't know that I can. You know, people ask me all the time, like, if you met, you know, James Charles or Colleen Ballinger in public, like, I don't know them. Like, they're people that I cover for a drama channel. Like, I think people get confused about that sometimes because people are such huge fans of them that they don't get that, right? Like, I don't have an emotional attachment to those people past the issue that I'm speaking about. So for me to see them and play fake with them, I mean, okay, like, that wouldn't be hard for me because I don't know them. I have no emotional attachment to them. But somebody that I have an emotional attachment to that gave me hope about conditions of the world and I granted forgiveness and we really worked through things. No, I can't. I just don't think that I can just be like, hey, it's good to see you, because it's not good to see you. You know, I don't know what I would say. I don't think I would ignore it. I think if he wanted to play it off and be like, hey, it's so good to see you, blah, 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 whatever, I think I'd be like, you know, I should have known 30 years ago. This is what I would want to say. I want to say, you know what? You were a bigot 30 years ago and you're still a bigot today. And I trusted you enough to think that you were a changed person. I don't fault myself for trusting somebody to show that they were a changed person. I don't fault myself for having hope in somebody. I still hope that he changes and he becomes a better person. I really do. I hope that he changes through that and, you know, whatever. Just don't waste your time on me. I'm like very much that's where I'm at today. Like I don't need people wasting their time involving me in their bullshit that I don't have any part of it. I don't have any part of that today. Whatever his bigotry is, whatever his issues are, whatever he's working out in his own life for him to feel that way, he needs to go work it out. I'm not part of that today. I don't know what purpose I served in his life, but that part for me is done. You know, he needs to go live his life the way that he needs to live it. I don't really know what I would say to him if I saw him in person. I'd probably play it by ear. I can tell you I'm not at a point in my life anymore where I could just be like, hey, it's good to see you. I can't. Tommy and I were talking about this last night. Something changed in me. It was like going through the standing up for myself thing online, and then that was also in my personal life, and, you know, then, like, I mean, going through life-changing events, you know, where I just, you know, with the accident, and then other things that have happened, and I just don't look at life the same way anymore, and, I thought I was playing nice. I thought I was playing nice and being a good person by slapping on a smile and saying, it's good to see you too. Like, I thought that was playing nice. I thought that was being a good person. What I realize now was that was me co-signing the bullshit of other people that I didn't agree with, that was hurting me or hurting other people. You know, Tanya and I were talking about that last... Oh my god, I'm getting ready to stop this, and the treadmill fell. But Tanya and I were talking about just the need to, like 10 years ago, you know, like being like more like every man for himself kind of mentality, and today almost being forced in a position where we have to look out for our fellow man and taking care of our fellow man and being worried for a fellow man, you know? I can no longer... I don't know what I would say in that situation if I ran into him. I really don't. Like, to be honest with you, I hope I don't. I don't know, watch today, I will, or something, at this football game. God, that would be the worst place ever with my family. Honestly, you know what? I act like I'm all trepidation and I don't know what to do. I'm very good in situations like that. I know it probably surprises people, but I actually am very good in situations like that. Something kind of switches in me, and I'm like, you know what? You're not 20 anymore. You're 52 years old. You're an adult, and you can handle this in an adult way, right? Like, if he said something to me like, hey, it's good to see you, blah, 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 whatever, I'd be like, could I pull you for a second? Could we just go talk for a couple minutes? Or if right now it's not good, like in the next hour, could, you know, whatever. And I probably would pull him aside away from other people. I don't have the desire or the need to embarrass somebody in front of their family like he did me on Facebook. And I'd probably say, you know what, I was really taken aback by what you posted on Facebook. I would give him the opportunity to stand by his words today, to my face. And I would say, I was really taken back by what you put on Facebook. In fact, I unfriended you over it. You know, you were somebody that gave me a lot of hope. I wouldn't bullshit him. I would say exactly what I've said to you guys, what I've said to other friends of mine, what I've said to Alex. And I would say I was really taken aback, you know, but like, I'm confused by it. I'm confused by it, right? And I'd let him say what he had to say, and I guess I would respond to it and like, depending on it. I don't know that there was a lot that he could say or anybody in that comment section could say that would really change my mind about wanting them to be in my life today. I have few spaces for few people in my life today, and that spot is filled, and so I don't need that in my life today, you know. I don't even know that I got it when Tanya first said to me, as you get older, the road narrows. I don't even know that I 100% get it now, but I get it better. I get it more now than I did when she first said it to me. About when you get older, the road narrows, about what's important to you, you know? When you're younger, all this is important to you. When you're older, it's this. About the bullshit you're able to take, the road narrows. You know, about people's words and what the road narrows, you know? About spending time with certain people, it's these people that it matters with, right? And I get it today, like I get that. So I don't know. I will say though that show Dark, fantastic, confusing. I still don't think I really understand what happened in the entire show or the end or any of it. I mean, I get it, kind of, but like I think it was on such a deep level that it was literally like Dark, or not Dark, Dark Matter was so dumbed down. This was like Dark, about time travel and space travel and all this kind of stuff, but on such a confusing level. Oh, I gotta go start getting ready. On such a confused, if it rains, am I gonna have to bring a rain jacket to this football game today? But it is so confusing. It's like Dark Matter, but like a very confusing, more serious, better cast, and better described characters, better characterization. It was good, but it messed with me. Oh my God, last night I just was like, I would have to like pause the show and like to, you know, go make a cup of coffee and like all this kind of stuff. I was like doing laundry last night because I was like, this is like, it's kind of like in my head too much. So, in my head. What's that Kylie Minogue song? We used to listen to her. All the kids are listening to Kylie Minogue again today. I'm like, can't get you out of my head. We used to listen to her in the club in Louisville at the Connection all the time. They used to play Kylie Minogue. I love it. But Kylie Minogue was on Neighbors before that because I can remember my friend, whose dad is from, I think it's Middlesbrough, Scotland. And so she would go to England a lot, and they would watch, she and her sister watch Neighbors, which I believe is Australian TV show, like a soap or whatever. And I think Kylie and Danny Minogue were both on that. Am I completely speaking idiot language right now, and I'm completely wrong about this? I don't know, but anyway, I do know this. That at the Connection in Louisville, we used to dance to Kylie Minogue. And I loved it so much. And on New Year's Eve one year, we danced to Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas, or whatever. It's like this dance remix. I'll never forget it. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to get ready for this football game and then hanging out with the family. I'm really excited about it tonight. It's going to be fun to have everybody together, hanging out, just talking and stuff like that. So it's going to be good, and I'm excited about it. And I'm going to get this vlog rendered, and then I will upload it. So if we get home at 2 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock tonight is when I will post it. So, and I will try to film something for tomorrow too, probably just a vlog. So anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday and a fantastic weekend. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.